Things that should not be combined. A husband, a jealous wife, a favoured lady, and sake. A green robe and a yellow sash, an unfortunate combination. A hairy, sharp-clawed cat and one's favourite bed covering. Wine and too much water is such a disappointing combination. Lord Oshika, Yukinari, and me in a palace cellar in the middle of the night. And, of course, saltpeter, charcoal, and sulphur.
You followed us here, Lord Oshika.
It was I who sent you those papers.
Why?
To answer that, I must tell you my story. It is as full of intrigue and crime as any of yours, Lieutenant.
Might we not go back up to the palace, listen in warmth and comfort?
It won't take very long. You remember I spoke of Chinese alchemists, their search for the secret of eternal youth. One of their experiments went dreadfully wrong.
They created some combination of elements which had dangerous properties.
Saltpeter, charcoal, and sulphur.
Indeed. In certain proportion, their mixture made fire. They had stumbled on a substance which, when even the smallest spark was applied to it, could erupt like a volcano. Alchemists died. They sought one thing, life. They found another, death. I, too, went in search of one thing and found another.
And what did you find?
Treason and blasphemy.
Why did you not go to the Emperor with your suspicions?
The leaders of this plot are of high rank. I am sure of that. Before I had time to discover who exactly they were or the details of their plan, my own revulsion became known to them. I would never have been able to find out more.
So you sent the papers to Yukinari?
The lieutenant is famous for his tenacity. He is hated for it, too. You believe they have brought that hellish mixture here, beneath the palace itself?
I do.
You? Unthinkable.
Masamitsu, no!
My lord, what have you done?
Call it execution. He betrayed the cause. Do you wonder about that cause, Yukinari?
I wonder how you knew to find us here.
Oh, as to that, I am old. Sleep is no longer my friend. I rise often during the night, and tonight I saw this one, this vermin, scurrying along. I have suspected him of treason for some time now.
And you know what is hidden down here?
Of course. I arranged for it to be brought here.
Shonagon, go up and raise the alarm.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Stop!
You would point your sword at a lady?
For emphasis only, you will stay here. Stay, and let us talk.
About what? Conspiracy, murder, arson?
About a righteous, even holy cause. You surely do wonder about that. But then in your travels, with your experience, you may already understand much about it.
I understand that you and others like you conspire to murder. Or do you prefer the word assassination?
Ah, yes. Our beloved and divinely appointed emperor, I suppose that would be the word. Or purging sacrifice, perhaps. And he is a delightful boy. There would be many tears.
You are mad.
What I am, Lady Shonagon, is dying. The physicians tell me so, as do the priests. My own bones tell me so.
Excellent news.
Stand there and be quiet, woman, and understand this. However ungentlemanly, given that you are a lady and you a cripple, for my cause I would kill you both. And you, Yukinari, your death would truly grieve me. I admire you very much. And do, please, let us have that talk.
Well, given what we already know, I don't see what there is to discuss.
We could discuss your joining the cause.
I'm a policeman. I know my duty.
Your duty, is it not, is to the truth. Indulge an old dying man for a little while. It may save your life. Shall we talk about power and its corruption?
You're the one the writings called the Incorruptible Lord.
Splendid title, is it not?
The Incorruptible Lord at the heart of corruption.
Yes, I know, quaint and fanciful, but these things may serve a purpose. They gather people to the cause. Sometimes, of course, the wrong people. Oshika, He secretly sent some of our writings to the famously tenacious Yukinari.
The writings were to incite the people to sow dissent.
Of course. And I'm sure you recognize that right away, since I'm also sure you recognize their truth.
Truth?
Be quiet, woman. Yukinari. Those papers have been copied and copied and copied again. There are thousands of them all over Japan. And when the fire god strikes at this heart of corruption, then the people, seeing the truth of our words, as Yukinari does,
No.
and seeing the wrath of the god fall on this place, this luxurious brothel, well, they will be ours.
And you would own the people.
They will be free. The fire god will strike. Either your silence will make sure he does, or your death will. 3 corpses may be found in this cellar, maybe 4. I myself could expire at any moment, and no Yukinari to solve the crime. Do not move, Yukinari. Not an eyelash. Now, still in its scabbard, remove your sword. Kick it away. I know how ill you've been, Lieutenant, how weak you are, unable even to walk without that staff of yours, but I must be careful. I am an old man. Who wields true power, Yukinari? Answer me. What laws, what powers hold sway over the people? You know, Yukinari, you rose from the people and you've traveled the land. When you read those papers, you recognize their truth. You know. Under what powers do the people suffer? Answer.
Tyranny.
Yes. And when not tyranny, banditry. The people suffer under poverty and famine.
Earthquake.
Flood.
Drought. I've seen them. Hundreds dead at the sides of the roads.
Join us. And where you lead, your lady there will follow, either to the cause or death. There must be sacrifice, of course. Our divine and beloved emperor, a delightful boy, but a mere figurehead and puppet. Think, Yukinari, nothing is unthinkable. Oh, my dear man, with a crippled staff, in your condition. I am old, Yukinari, but fit enough to kill you.
Try then. I know my duty.
Duty? To tyranny and corruption?
Things that happen when you cut off a man's arm. There is a momentary stillness before the blood comes. In that moment, the man looks puzzled in a rather comical way. When the blood does come, it gushes and spurts like a broken fountain. The man spins like a demented dancer. He falls to the floor and rolls about. He paints a strangely beautiful red pattern on the floor. He's screaming like a pig. For a little while, you are as indifferent as a bone. Then you want to scream. But for a little while longer, you remain silent, motionless, a bone. The sound you eventually make is as much a laugh as a scream. You know, as you begin to crumple, that Yukinari will be too slow and clumsy to catch you before you hit the ground. Never mind. Go to sleep. I used Lord Oshika's sword. Was that all right?
Of course.
I would rather have used yours, but I thought the other would be sharper.
A wise choice.
I have killed a man.
No, he's not dead.
Then the Emperor will kill him.
His Majesty wishes to see us.
I thought it best to strike before he persuaded you to join him.
He would not have done that. He might have killed me.
He tempted you. You were tempted.
I am a policeman. My duty is to the victims of crime, whatever the crime, whoever the criminal might be.
Did you catch me before I hit the ground?
Almost. But I fell over. Shonagon, you are an extraordinary woman.
May I ask you to leave now? I must prepare myself very carefully if we are to meet the Emperor.
Tell me about this Chinese mixture.
It is made up of saltpeter, sulfur, and powdered charcoal. It is very dangerous stuff, Your Majesty.
And you, Shonagon, it would seem, are a very dangerous woman. You should have cut off the villain's head. Lord Tadanobu is taking care of that this very moment. So this mixture, it makes fire.
A small flame must be applied to it. That in turn creates a more intense fire, which can be enormous.
How enormous?
I don't know a great deal about it, Your Majesty, but I understand the fire is sudden and vast, like the eruption of a volcano. Certainly the huge amount that was hidden in your cellars would have created that vast an explosion.
Hidden in wine casks, which you discovered, Shonagon.
Well, I saw them arrive, Your Majesty, and when Yukinari spoke about the wooden bull, was it a horse?
What wooden horse?
It is a good story, Your Majesty. I will tell it to you later.
Aha!
Your Majesty?
Wait. I think I am having an idea. Yes. If the size of the fire depends upon the amount of the mixture, then what if? Well, what if, say, there was a small amount of the mixture in a tiny cask and that were ignited? What then?
A small explosion?
A tiny volcano. We could experiment.
As Your Majesty wishes, but as I said, this stuff is very dangerous. If word of it spread...
No word of it will go beyond the palace walls.
Then I think His Majesty has thought of a splendid invention.
It is splendid, isn't it? Yes, we shall have little casks of the powder made. They could be of paper, not wood, and see what happens when they're ignited. I shall call them fire toys.
Things that may be combined in an interesting way. Saltpeter, charcoal, and sulfur. The eager eyes of a young emperor and the fire reflected in them. That combination makes one smile. The horror of severing an arm, and the pride at doing so. My newest, most glorious robe and the drab clothes of a policeman. That policeman and this lady of the palace, they combine and recombine. Most interesting.
In the Pillow Book by Robert Forrest, Shonagon was played by Ruth Gemmell, Yukinari by Mark Bazeley, Lord Tadanobu, Liam Brennan, Lord Masamitsu by Ralph Riach, Lord Oshika by Nick Underwood, and The Emperor by Simon Ginty. The Pillow Book was written by Robert Forrest and was directed by Lu Kemp.